Yo, we are Watch the Duck, and you are tuned in to Day One Radio.
The business.
Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Day One Radio, right here on ablradio.com. That's Art Beats and Lyrics Radio to be exact. Make sure you download the very free, very accessible smartphone app for your iPhone and Android devices. And also make sure you check out the entire Day One Radio episode catalog at day1radio.com and check us out in the iTunes podcast. My name is Maurice Garland. I'm one of your gracious co-hosts, and to my right I have
Nadine Graham at MadFreshDaily, madfreshdaily.com. I don't have anyone to my right.
Mr. Brandon Peters, the LSK, the Lifestyle King, is out doing Lifestyle King type things right now as we speak.
Word, he out there driving fancy cars on the West Coast. I feel you, B. Dang. How can I be down?
How can I be down? Sure. How was your holiday weekend and all that stuff, Turkey Day and leftover weekend?
It was chill, I mean, I did a lot of extra stuff with my daughter, so I'm kind of like dragging right now, and then I was still working in between doing all that, so it was like, I mean, I enjoyed myself as it was happening, but
right.
Boy, the after effect is like, it just, boy,
like
I need a nap.
Like, Thanksgiving gets kind of tiring when you grown. Like, when you a kid, you're like, yeah, we going over somebody's house to eat. You know, when you grown, it's like, damn, I gotta go buy some shit. I gotta cook some shit. I gotta go to somebody's house. I gotta stay over there. Then I gotta come home.
I know. People don't be wanting to leave. You might have came over there with somebody. They would have sit there and play cards or dominoes all night. I'm ready to go, man. So, how you got out of cooking? Because I asked you that earlier. Did you put it together yet? How you got out of cooking this year?
You know, I don't know what happened. I think I was busy working or something. And wifey held it down. I'm really trying to jog my memory. Like, damn, why did I not contribute? It wasn't on no, I'm the lazy husband.
No, because you done got fly low key though with your cooking. You put your plates up. The plates be organic. I be like, yo.
Yeah, hashtag I be trying.
Crazy. But I don't know. I hit a couple of shows or whatever too. That Jeezy show was all right. If y'all haven't seen it, I think he's done with the promo tour now though. But the promo tour was pretty cool with him. And then Mac Miller's tour just started.
Oh, the Good AM tour.
Mm-hmm. And Earth Gang is opening for them, I think, the whole tour.
Tight.
That's dope. The energy is crazy with that. So catch that, too, if it's in your city.
Cool. So speaking of guests, we have some wanted guests in the building with us today, man. We got, they call themselves musical schizophrenics, and that's what we're going to stick to. We got duo Watch the Duck representing Montgomery, Alabama, Grand Hustle, Dim Mock, Epic Records, I Am Mother, you know what I'm saying? A lot of dope things going on with these two gentlemen, and we're going to be talking to them this episode. We're going to go into this break. We'll be right back. Day One Radio.
Yo, what's happening? This is DJ Wally Sparks, representing Chattown, Tennessee, 423. What's happening? You tune in to Day One Radio on ablradio.com. Peace.
Welcome back to Day One Radio. Maurice Garland, Nadine Graham in the building.
Yo, what up?
We got some very special guests in the building, man. I don't like calling folks, you know. Every time somebody come here from Alabama or Mississippi, folks like to say, oh, shit, we got some country boys in the house.
Wait, no. Not here at ABL Radio. No, I think Alabama's too close to be on some, you know what I'm saying? It's not like none of us have been out there before. We know what it is out there.
Matter of fact, there has been an ABL in Birmingham, so we got much love from Birmingham. But these boys are representing Montgomery, a.k.a. The Gump.
Yes, sir. What you know about it?
See, I didn't know nothing about that.
Oh, yeah, The Gump. So we got Watch the Duck in the building, man. What's going on, fellas?
It's just thugging.
Just thugging?
I mean, I feel like y'all have been fairly busy. You're being a little modest now. Y'all have a recent release.
Yeah, the Trojan Horse EP came out Friday.
Right. Even the fact that you've called it the Trojan Horse, and I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, but like, I mean, we all know what a Trojan Horse is, but what is the significance of that name with this EP?
It's a trap. You waiting on me to say more?
Yeah, I am.
It's a trap. You let it, and it's like, okay, are you familiar with like the legend of Helen of Troy? Mm-hmm. So it's like the Trojan horse is how the Greeks won the Trojan War.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but
what war is this that you are fighting?
Yeah,
you know, it's for us. It's sneaking in, man. Like with what we doing sound wise, like you said, being from Alabama, you know, going to the heights that we have our eyes on. It's a way for us sneaking in with us and all our friends. And I wouldn't even more so call it a war. It's more like it's just a goal. It's we are trying to win though. Even though it's not a war, it's definitely a way of sneaking in with just our sound, how we see culture, the things we inspired by. Like it's not, as of right now, let's say it's not down the middle mainstream. So we sneaking in with it. Just long story short.
You know, because like when I first got introduced to your music, I got that feeling mainly because it reminded me of another group that was known for sneaking shit in.
What's that?
Parliament Funkadelic.
Ooh, there you go. Now you're talking.
You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like, you know,
they came in on a mothership though.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man. The mothership, the Trojan horse. Hey, it's that's a great reference though. Like, and that's an honor they even had that reference. But Parliament, and then directly for us, Outkast. Mm-hmm. You know, which I feel like we're kids of Parliament, and at the end of the day, I feel like we're more like children of Outkast. You know, like, so I guess Parliament would be like the great grandpops.
That's so funny because everybody claims, well, not everybody, but a good amount of people from that generation of hip hop claim Parliament or that whole P-Funk movement as being their inspiration. But I guess then Snoop and Outkast would be cousins and not necessarily brothers or whatever.
But you know what, though?
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I feel what you're saying, because you could say that because I guess of the differences in the music and the message, I guess, and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like they are brothers in the sense of everybody takes the inspiration and spins it out differently based on what's inside of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like I think everybody from that era was influenced by them because of the message that Parliament had. Mm-hmm. Was like, be you. Be you. Whatever you're gonna do it, and just be funky with it. Free your mind, and your ass won't be far behind. You know, and it's like in that sense, it's like all them cats did that. You know, everybody from Africa Bambaataa to Snoop to, you know, to Outkast to Cypress Hill to everybody. You know what I mean? They all was just trying to free their mind so their ass wouldn't be that far behind. We just trying to keep that going. You know, keep it in time. I'm gonna keep rhyming. but you know what I mean? Though, like just on some. I mean, because you can say that's trickled down into the music that you hear out now. It's like, you know, giving no fucks and all that stuff. It's still everybody trying to regurgitate that message of just like freedom. You know, I'm gonna do this because this is how I hear it. I'm gonna do this because this is what I want to do. Talk about this, what I talk about. Like some people are just more intellectual or more grimy or more ratchet. You know, some people really probably shouldn't do this. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, everybody is all, I think it's all kind of coming from Parliament and the people like the Beatles and everybody else. Is just you saw that thing that made you be like, ooh, I'm gonna do this like this. Right. You know what I mean? Like, but it all came from the same seed.
Like, where does this story begin, though, man? Because, I mean, like, you know, we see your videos, everybody's playing instruments, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to assume that, you know, you got the story that we hear so many times. Oh, you know, I came up playing instruments in the church. I was in the choir and everything, you know what I'm saying? But, like tell us, like, where does this musical journey start at, man?
Man. It honestly started sitting in the living room at the mama house while she's playing Parliament or while she's playing the movie Purple Rain by Prince. You know, it started there, and I think the flame was definitely really lit as we got older and was able to go to school and play in the band. Like, we were in symphonic band together in junior high. You know what I mean? Like, just straight playing symphonic music and marching band and things of that nature. Music was always a part of the life. You know what I mean? Like, whether it was at home and It's just that flame was fanned in school. We got into other extracurricular activities such as band, jazz band, guitar, choir, everything. If somebody was making noise and it was permitted, we tried to join. So
like talk to us about, like you go through those experiences, and in this generation, so many times people automatically assume that if you're young and black, that you are only listening to hip hop and you only want to make hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us about the experience of, playing all this kind of different music, and then I guess, going to school, trying to put folks up on shit, or, in the neighborhood trying to introduce people to things. They're like, man,
it doesn't start, you know what? It don't start that way. It started as a little bit of rebellion, and it started as, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. Like for myself, it was the only option at the time at the school I went to, symphonic band. So it wasn't like I'm not gonna lie, like I was some cool Mozart kid sitting at the house, like trying to put my friends up on Beethoven. It's just, that was the option. You want to be in the band, you got to be in the symphonic band. So I was like, damn, really? All right. And you got to wear this tuxedo. Damn, really? All right. And actually, it was once I got into doing it, is where I discovered the love. Like, dang, this is actually kind of cool. Like,
what instrument did you play?
I was playing snare drum.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when I got in and learned, like, that's actually cool. And the same thing with stuff like guitar. Like, I got into that in the middle of junior high by listening to literally kids around me play like Nirvana and like Teen Spirit and stuff like that, and hearing it and being like, man, what's that? And just being fascinated by the way it sounded, and just seeing other people do it. So I think it came from being outside. The biggest thing, being outside your comfort zone, like being put in a position where, as a kid, you can't choose the cool shit. You can't. You be like, but you want to do something. You don't want to not do anything. But here are your options, though. So you had to stepping outside the comfort zone, and one thing leading to another. Where, okay, if you want to play in the after school thing, it's the jazz band, and you're like, really, that's it? All right, cool. And then just playing in jazz band to literally just have those moments where we take a break and can play stuff like Bone Thugs in between, like when the band director leave, or when they walk out the room, like, all right, let's crank that cast up. You know what I mean? Like for those moments was everything. But we learned the facet. Like you'll look around the room and be in the middle of something like Avantia, a symphonic joint, and you'll look and see your homeboy is into it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like he really enjoying it, but we don't really talk about it like that. But you like
Proclamation and Symphonic Decree.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy playing Proclamation and Symphonic Decree in the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
That job used to go hard.
So you was in the band too. What you played?
Well, we was on the drum line together.
Y'all
we played
was both
snare.
playing. Wow.
And
Like-
for the record, I think that's the first time I've heard Phantom of the Opera referred to as in that way. Like,
Man, that mother
Yeah.
hard,
that
dog.
mother hard,
Dog. For real, when it drop and you hear all them instruments playing it together,
Right.
Like to this day, some of my fondest, because like I was only a band in junior high. By the high school, I got into sports and I couldn't play in the band no more. I couldn't do marching band. But like my favorite part of going to like football, other than actually playing football, was like the marching bands. Like, like you hear the school, like you have Alabama State, or like my school, we played, I'm not gonna say it the way we used to say it growing up. We played the other kind of music, so our band wasn't really nothing to listen to. You know what I mean? But like his school, like
y'all played Flight of the Bumblebees and shit like that.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like we did. That's not, nobody wants to see that halftime show.
They glitz.
Yeah, nobody cared about that halftime show. Nobody wanted to be a drum major at my school, but.
Bar it sideways. You like,
Nobody care about that. But then like we play like Lanier, like the school Eddie went to. We played Carver, or like you go to Alabama State game. Man, when my parents played September at the crib, I liked it. I thought it was a cool song. But what made me love Earth, Wind, and Fire was Alabama State.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what made me hear the Temptations. Like Get Ready was my favorite. Like ooh, Turkey Day Classic. Well, you heard wah 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 wah, and they be marching. You know what I'm saying? The drum majors, they be thugging, they be all fly. You be like, ooh, what song is that? And then when I heard the song, it's the Temptations. I'm like, oh, I like the Temptations.
Wow.
I like Earth, Wind, and Fire. because it just nothing sounded like or Reasons
or Let's Groove, like
Let's Groove Tonight, man. Nothing sounded like that when the tubas started playing that, man. Or they started playing what was my favorite song, Glad to See You Again. When they started playing stuff like that, man, and everybody in the stadium singing it, glad to see you again.
Yeah,
man, you like, oh my God. By the time they break down, it's just like you just getting it on the floor.
Yeah,
and it's like, because we grew up like that. We was real crunk. This all it started for us to have a party.
Right,
you beat this on the table. That was a party. I'm looking in your eyes. What they call twerking, we booty shaking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's what made me love music. I'm gonna be honest. It was just the fun part of it. It was like, and it was magical to see like all these people playing different parts. Because like when you in rehearsal, you see them rehearsing this. You see the band director make them do this, and then everybody play it. And it sounds kind of stupid when everybody do their own little thing. But then when they play it together, it's like ooh, and it make us playing the snare drum, it just made everything matter. It was just crazy.
This passion that y'all are exhibiting right now for the marching band is like, let me explain to the people that are up top or whatever that listen to the show. We don't have that with the high schools up there. Not really. The band is whack up there. We don't know
I feel
nothing
sorry
about
for your
that.
mother.
I know. It wasn't until I moved down south when I realized how deep that was.
Man,
like, that's a big deal if you're in the band
where are you from?
down south. I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
I knew you was going to say that.
So
you sound like a Brooklyn, like you just Jay-Z, come on right now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This real rap right here.
No, but like it's funny because it's so like it's clearly in y'all's veins, like that part of it. Like y'all are so Southern, but then somebody could say, well, their music sounds like they are Southern, but it's another part to it. There's another layer to it. Yeah. Like that EDM layer is like, well, where did this come from?
Curiosity.
You know what I'm saying?
Travels, just curiosity. It's like you go places and like when we moved to, like we moved to Houston for a while, moved to London for a while, moved to Atlanta for a while, spent a lot of time in New York. And it's like, I know even personally, like he'll tell you, like even with rap, like I was like one of them Southern rap dudes. Like I don't only mess with people from like below the Mason-Dixon line. You know what I mean? But then you start traveling or people from up north, from Brooklyn come down, and I see y'all jamming to it so hard, and make me be like, well, let me listen to this. Okay. And then like when I really go to New York and I see everybody in the club waving their hand, it's kind of like the marching band experience. It's like I get it. Like even when we moved to Houston, like I wasn't the biggest fan of Screw or the biggest fan of like not Young Thug, but like Slim Thug and Paul Wall. Like I like some of their songs, but I didn't get Lil Kiki and all that stuff. Then I went to Houston. I experienced the culture. Play something from Houston for me now. Right. I will lose everything. Play Drink by Headed to the Kappa or something like that. Man, that's my joint. But it took me getting in there, watching that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like until then, it was just like, oh, okay, I'm trying to find out what you like about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching you, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
I can relate to that, man, because I remember, I had friends from Houston that I went to school with, and they would be playing Flip and Big Mo and all that.
It's hard.
And I'm like, who's this leprechaun dude?
It's tough.
Who's this other dude? This grimace looking nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I went to Houston. And they played that. I was in the club one night. I'm like, ooh, this shit jamming.
You know what I'm saying? Because you see everybody in there and I'm telling you, but like, because my first time seeing, what was my rest in peace, Big Mo. You know what I'm saying? Right. He had the With the Purple Stuff video.
Right.
And I'm like, the song was actually kind of jamming. But I was just like, I don't understand syrup. I don't understand. I'm young. I'm like, then I went down there. I heard that same club, that same song. In a club, T-Town at the time, on Richmond. Man, let me tell you, some of the best times in my life. Play that song for me now, I will get on top of y'all tape and just get it. Because it's like now I understand it. Like I think we always was more, what's the word, partial to Atlanta, just because Atlanta was like our big brother city. You know what I mean? Like we got everything out of Atlanta. Like, Raheem, Kilo, Ali, DJ Smurf, Kizzy Rock, all that stuff, Outkast, Goody Mob,
So Def,
Jermaine Dupri, all that. Like I'm talking about from the Brat to So Def bass all stars,
right?
Like all of that. Like because we was dumb young.
John was doing booty shit.
We was dumb. Like we was too young to go to Freaknik. You know what I'm saying? Like we was those kids, and then we got Luke. Then we got UGK out of Texas. I always loved UGK from the first time I heard them. Then we got 3 6 Mafia and all that stuff out of Tennessee. You know, Cash Money, the old No Limit, you know, like Fiend and all that. Like we Dumb Young, those were our influences. So it's like we got all that, and then we took that along with going to church. My parents loved Bobby Bland and Johnny Taylor and Luther Vandross and all that stuff. So all that soul stuff from out of Detroit. And then you start moving around. I always loved the West Coast because I felt like the West Coast was just Southerners by the beach.
Yeah, that's exactly what everybody from California got family in Mississippi somewhere.
They all their music sound West. It just got a West Coast vibe, but it's real soulful like music in the South. And then like that's what made me start loving Primo beats and stuff. And then like even getting into EDM, like, you know, you first hear it, you like, man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Jersey Shore.
You know what I'm saying? But then like, you know, we went up because that's all we thought EDM was. That's why I kind of don't even like the term EDM anymore, because it's just another side of music. I just thought it was, and I didn't want to hear that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You know, but like Chicago soul, Detroit soul. You go over to London. At the time, it was like garage music before dubstep. You know, and they would still experiment.
Funky house, man.
Funky house is the truth.
Funky house was like Chicago house.
It is.
And that New York house soul like thing is like traveling, man.
Yeah,
traveling and experiencing and seeing stuff like, and then you realize it's not so limiting because. Like I remember electronic music like around 2000 because I experienced it probably for the first time physically in like Club La Vila, when Club La Vila was popping in Panama City, and I was too young and I had to like wet someone's hand and get the stamp on my hand just to be able to get in that bad boy, and they was just in there going back to back, and I was looking around like, okay, they gotta change, at least change the tempo,
right?
You know what I mean? Like let's at least switch tempos, but. From where it was then to where it became now, of like it's so many subgenres and there's so many different ways of doing it, and man, traveling just allowed us to. It was just like the symphonic band experience.
Yeah, I wanted to know, man, 'cause you kind of glossed over. You was like, you know, we was living in London for a while, then we moved, you know, to Houston. You know, just like quick stunt.
You know
like,
we traveling in,
I
man.
know.
Yeah, I wonder, like what brought that about? Was it the music making you move? Was it a job? Like, why were you guys moving around so much, man?
Man, opportunity hoppers. I'm gonna be honest, like you chase it, you know, and. Coming up, we like you said, we were in Houston when we got the opportunity to go to London, because in Houston we were working with the Knowles family with Beyonce and all of them on. That was our first opportunity, like professionally. So we got the opportunity. They was like, "Yo, y'all want to host the tour in the UK?" Like, you can't tell no niggas from Alabama, do you want
see
to?
it?
Like, if as soon as you start, it's, do you want to? We like, yes. What you like? Well, whatever the other part of the sentence was, it didn't matter.
Right.
We just jump in feet first, and you know, we had to go get passports and things of that nature. But it was just like one of them things to where like we knew we had to go, and we got to be there. And when the tour left to go,
and what tour is this that you're talking about?
This the B-Day tour for Beyonce, and when the tour left to come back to America, we were so infatuated with London. From that time we had been there, I think at that time maybe 2 weeks, about 2-3 weeks. We was like, we gotta stay. Like we just wasn't interested in coming back to North America yet. Like, so we literally rented a flat out there. Call them flats out there. It's kind of cool. But we rented a flat out there and just stayed, because it was something happening that felt right for us, that we didn't feel. You gotta understand, prior to that point, we felt musically schizophrenic, and we thought that a lot of the stuff we was making, that we call like we had that secret hard drive where that's your other shit. You know what I mean? You don't play this for people. This is like when other weirdos come in the room, you like, oh, let me play you this. You know, but other than that, you tuck it. And out there, I feel like it hit. We were in the scene and we were watching other. This is the first place I ever saw a DJ like sell a place out. Like by himself, just on and literally playing instrumentals, and people losing their shit. And then it was just hitting me, and I was listening to all the changes that they had in the records, and it was like looking at somebody like, you so free. How are you so free? Like, how are they letting you do this? You know what I mean? Like, and it was just that moment of realizing like it's other people like us, because we had beats that did those.
Right.
But people at that time, people were saying like, why y'all beat change so much? You know what I mean? Like, just keep the loop, stick to the loop. That's it.
But it's crazy you say that because, like, when you grow up listening to music, you know, because I remember, like, when the loop thing just got too crazy, and I was like, I don't have any favorite parts of the song anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like when you were growing up, like, this is my favorite part. Here it comes. But then for a minute, it was just like, God damn, so this just sounded like the same shit for like 3 minutes, 55 seconds.
Yeah.
So did y'all actually feel like weirdos? Like, did you feel like within the circle that I guess you were placed in initially?
Yes.
Outright.
From the beginning, yes. I mean, I felt like that in Alabama with some of the thoughts I had, like, because it just wasn't, I didn't see nobody else really that looked like me doing it. So you feel like a weirdo. Like if people, especially like in the studio, if people walking in and everybody's playing a particular style of a beat and yours don't sound like that, how else do you supposed to feel?
That's what I'm saying. But then y'all still got to look off it though. So it's like,
we grew into it though. We grew into the acceptance of it. It's like being a kid. You know, when you're a kid, when you first growing up and you in school, you're not necessarily trying to stand out. It's about blending in as opposed to standing out, because you're not trying to put yourself in a position to get joked on. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. It's about being cool. Like, and I'm literally just talking about from a kid standpoint. So you tiptoe during those times. You try a little thing. You'll put on a jacket that none of your other friends, you don't think they'll wear. You go to school. You get hit with the jokes though, because your boy's good. You get hit with the joke. You take a few on the chin, and then you realize, oh, okay, it's cool. You fight back, and then a couple of girls wink at you, and you realize, yo, the girl's fucking with this jacket. Yeah. And it's at that moment you realize the power in being different,
Right.
And you start embracing those. That's like, because I know for me, that's what really sparked me embracing difference. Like, oh wait, because you do something, a couple people joke on you, but a couple of girls will like it.
yeah.
And you be like, oh, hold on. I got more ideas where that came from. Hold on. I'm just getting started. But it starts there, and then it works its way into, now I'm just talking about life, but it's all the same, life and music, you know? So it works its way into music and being able for us to stand up in it and be like, all right, this is what we sound like. This is who we are, you know? And not, because now if you ask me today, I'm speaking for my hindsight thing. Like then, yes, I felt like a weirdo at that moment. If you ask me today, I feel normal as fuck.
Right.
Because I think we
settled into yourself.
Yeah, we are very. I think that's the Jedi mind trick, is to think, oh, we the weird ones, or this or other stuff. But I feel like 85% of people feel the way I feel. Mm-hmm. Like, look us in the room. Like, I bet you ain't near one of us in here like real dope D-boy kingpins. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think none of us in here Tony Montana. So. But guess what? 85% of other people, they don't neither. You know what I mean? So we are the normal ones. Right. You know what I mean? So I don't feel weird no more. So that's really, but it takes, you got to learn that though, because we not the normal ones. We're not the loudest ones. Right. That's the issue.
So what were you guys like doing with, Beyonce around that time, man?
Just production, writing. Well, more so production than just production, because we were being managed by Matthew as producers, as a production team. So just slanging tracks.
You know what I'm saying? Cause like it's curious. I'm curious because like when you talk about having to fit in, like what was it about you guys that you think would draw a situation like them, people like them to you? Because I'm like if you fuck with me because what I do, why should I have to fit in now? You know what I'm saying?
I mean that honestly, I'm still trying to learn that part, even in Watch the Duck. Why people are drawn to something for one thing, and then when they get a part of it, they want it to be something else. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with like music. People may hear a track, because like, I guess for like the weirdos, like sometimes I guess you get it right. Like you get your weirdness right to where everybody understands it. But for the most part, you're gonna have a lot of visions that you're gonna see that everybody else not gonna see. And that's the part where they're going to come in and be like, well, maybe you should change this. Maybe we should tone you down right here. Mm-hmm. Maybe you should do this more normal. Or maybe we should move this and do this right here. Because everybody doesn't have your vision, so everybody doesn't share your courage. And sometimes, as a weird person, you just need help. so I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes you weird, but you ain't all the way there yet.
Right.
So It's a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Delicate balance, though.
It's a delicate balance.
It's a delicate balance between taking constructive criticism and suggestions and staying true to who you are.
Right.
Because that's a real thing you just said. It hit me a certain way, bro. Like it's because you don't want to do it in a box or in a bubble where it's like I ain't taking what everybody say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes the right stuff, the right tweaks be right. Like I never want to be the smartest person in the room. Like you always want to learn something,
Right.
so you want to make sure you listening, but at the same time, don't get off of your thing that, like you said, that's making you, that's making people drawn to you. Don't leave that in, trying to please anybody. So.
It's like, what is it like though? When you, I guess, I don't know if challenge is the word, but it's like, for instance, right now, Watch the Duck is affiliated with two like big music personalities right now. Pharrell, T.I., hell, even on the Denmark situation. You know what I'm saying with Steve. So it's
Tricky,
like how what is it like when you like, man, fuck this shit, man, we gotta speak up now. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't just gonna just be telling me to change shit. Like what is that moment like? You know what I'm saying?
Great. It's cool because it's like you also realize because at the same time, I'm keep it real. Like you started this thing off and saying we fans first, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna ever hide that, man. Like I'm a fan of this. Like the day I'm not a fan of this, I don't want to do it. And those same guys you calling out, man, I'm fans. Like at the end of the day, like you still look over to your right, that's Pharrell working on the beat. That's kind of dope.
Yeah,
and it's like, but at the same time, as that thing that drew them to you was that thing that you it's like animals, man. Like you were in the wild. You're that thing in the wild that they didn't know, they didn't understand for real. They just saw it over there and just saw like the beauty in it being
right.
in the wild. So you don't want to tame yourself too much at the same time. So you got to push back a little bit to get things to go because that's your artistry part. And I think because we collab a lot, obviously, and it's in the collaboration, you want pieces of both parties in it. Like we don't want it. If we're doing a collaboration, if that's what the intent of this track is, I want to get a little bit of that we know you from, but I got to make sure we in there though. Because then it can't be all you and it can't be all me. So you find yourself, you look it up, like you find yourself in a kind of like a slight debate with somebody you look up to. Like I don't think that should go this way.
Yeah.
Like you literally tell her like 6-7 time Grammy winner, I don't think this should go that way. And they looking at you like this name.
I almost feel like y'all and Pharrell would be so like. It would be such an easy evening in the studio with y'all because he has that same kind of spirit, and even in his music you can kind of tell like a little bit like he's kind of like I just feel like I think I'm just gonna do this. I think I'm just gonna do this song about being happy as hell. It's gonna hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it did, and it's that kind of spirit, and I just feel like y'all would connect on that level.
We literally do though. Like we literally do. It's true soundball. Goes so cool. Like everybody you just named, like we're true, like tried and tested. Like we call it soundball. Just when you can literally bounce ideas off each other, and it's just the flow about the night. Like it's not awkward, it's not weird. It's just cool ideas. So it's like cool. That's really how it goes. We really do connect that way in there. Like if we didn't, none of this would really work. But I'm not gonna lie, like it don't hit points to where like somebody may feel like it go this way, if somebody feel like it go this way. But one thing I love about our room is that everybody stay true to the sound. Like when you hear something and it works, whether you was for it or against it, you just like, oh yeah, that's okay. And you can look around the room because the room don't lie. Like you can look around the room and when it's right, everybody got that look and everybody got like, okay, all right. Even if I don't say it out loud, okay, I was wrong.
The room always wins.
You can't lie to the feeling.
The room always wins, man. But it's just good to throw. That's why we call it sound ball. Everybody got to play. Like if you're in the room, play, but just know how to play. You know what I mean? That's it. And then you come out with the best thing. That's why it's good to have that many minds in the room.
Really?
Yeah.
And really more so people. Okay.
Yeah.
To that question, to the way in fact your voice went up like that. Y'all silly. But passionate minds in the room. People who care. You know what I'm saying? Like if they care, then it's good that they're there. You know, if they just talking just because they got a mouth,
Yeah.
Get them out the room.
Yeah, I've been in sessions like that, where I might have been. I was just being the fly on the wall, like I'm just taking notes for my interview. And you see like them two people, and they kept, man, I mean, y'all just do this shit, bro. I mean, I ain't made a record in my life, but shit, I mean, I buy CDs and shit, so, but y'all need to do this, you know what I'm saying? So, I hear you.
It's just when you care, you know what I mean? Like, and it comes out good, and you learn who you can play sound ball with effectively. That's the thing about sound ball. It's telling if you're paying attention.
Right.
If you're like Eddie said, if you're watching the room, you learn who next game. Who should play again?
You can take your ball and go home.
Yeah. You need your own court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need to come in here.
You can't have next, bro.
And that's what it's all about, man. And I think that's how people collab from different genres, from different walks of life. Because when you start talking, man, when you start talking musically, like even the way we met Tip, that's how we really got cool. That's why I was about to say, because let me clarify that. I was about to say I love telling this story, but that's why I mess with Tip so tough. Because we met organically. We met through music. It wasn't that like, we clicked and we was just cool. It was like, because we met in the studio. So we had to find our purpose. And then once we saw each other's purpose, or more so him, he saw our purpose for being there. Then it was like, well, shoot, tell me more. Musically. We kept talking through the music. Now we can talk as men. Now, shoot, making a song, it ain't nothing.
Right.
It's just a look. It's like, yeah, you don't really rock with that. Let's roll on. Okay. Oh, nah, hey, little bruh, I think you should. Okay, cool. And it's not no thing now because we know how to play ball. You know what I mean? That's really what it's about.
Did that surprise you at all? I mean, anybody that's been listening to Tip or watching interviews, they know this guy's a pretty sharp guy. You know what I'm saying? But did it shock you at all? It was like, hey, man, I mess with this shit, man. I thoroughly enjoy this Watch the Duck situation.
I hate how you do it. I hate it.
I think everybody loves to imitate too. Everybody loves and do it when he do it in hand and use the words. But you know what though? It was funny is it did go a little bit like that in real life though, and that's why I love it. Because I'm laughing because what you said, it was something like that.
Right.
It was Watch the Duck. Because I've been hearing your name mentioned amongst various circles that I travel in and that I frequent, and and I mean, you know what I mean. It is like, but now I know I got you,
right.
and I know we about to get cool now. Now we finna get real cool. So I mean, yeah. On one hand, it was shocking, but it wasn't, and I tell you why. Just because it's shocking in the sense of if you live on stereotypes.
Okay.
Like the fact that it's 4 black people in this room. So you was like we used to have a thing back when we was going and meeting with A&Rs when that was still a thing. When
that was still a thing.
When that was still a thing.
Shots.
It's not really a thing no more. But when meeting with an A&R and playing your beat CD was the holy grail, that meant you was finna get a placement or you was gonna get close to it. Before we ever open our mouth, we walk in, we sit down, we ain't play them nothing. All we said is, hello, my name Jesse. His name Eddie. Well, he said his name was Eddie to them. I ain't saying. So before, yeah, real goofy. So before we open up our mouth, first thing they would say is, so we got some hip hop acts we working on, or they say, well, we don't really do hip hop here. I ain't said nothing though. I opened my mouth. I ain't said nothing.
Ain't played nothing.
I ain't played that now track. And it's like because hip hop means black. That's what it means. Rapper means black man. That's what it means. That's really what it means. So what are you talking about? You look at me, but at the same time keep from getting mad and making a whole we against the man type thing. Yeah. If 4 white boys walk in a room with long shaggy hair and they hadn't shaved, you're gonna think they're a rock band. You're gonna think they're Nirvana. They may make the hardest trap shit ever. Yeah. But you just when you look at them, you like, what this little white boy gonna do? Yeah. And he plays with it, boom, doom, doom, and you like, oh, white boy hard, And now we love him in the hood. Yeah. So I mean, it works both ways. You know what I mean? It works both ways, and I think we all do it. It's just black people, we get really, really sensitive about it, and we have our reasons. But I mean, to that, it's like, so I'm saying that to bring it back to the Tip situation. That's why it was shocking, but it wasn't, because when you get around a person like Tip and you listen to what he listens to on his playlist, you be like, man, I would never expect you to listen to that. But then I have to ask myself the question, the only reason why I wouldn't expect you to do that is because I feel like I know you. But I don't. And like being a producer, the beauty that we learned years. Over years and messing with different people, it just got real. My instincts kicked in. Like, where's the exit? But you know, like we learned messing with different artists. Like you'll go in and work with an artist, and you think you know him. Like say for instance, Schoolboy Q. I just use him. I just use Woo Wop as an example. You know what I'm saying? You think you know Woo Wop. You walk in like, yeah, man, you know, you rap like this. But then you hear the stuff that he really got on his hard drive that he really loves, that he makes. You like, wow, bruh. I had no idea. I had no clue. It's just like if you meet 3 Stacks and you expect him to play the next thing that just is going to literally, your brain going to melt out your ear and go back in. And he may say, man, I love that new Gucci song. And you're going to be looking at him like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what, you know, we're just vehicles. You don't know who's driving. And that's why you should take the time to get to know the driver.
That Gucci Mane thing you just said, it reminded me of a time where I was interviewing CeeLo, and you know he was telling me this story. Like, man, I hate when I walk in the strip club and the DJ want to play Gnarls Barkley and shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I want to hear Gucci.
Yeah. Because neither are you. That's in Atlanta. You know.
Right.
So I mean, it's just because you eclectic doesn't mean that you exclude anything.
Right.
Like, man, I worked out to Down in the DM and damn What a Time to Be Alive and DS2 this morning.
Right.
You know, Down in the DM is my shit.
Right.
You know, but I mean, because I don't have to choose. Because I like that just as much as I like something from OK or from Skrillex. You know, I love Justin Bieber stuff. I just like good music. You know, like, I mean, I don't have any. I love me some Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. I really, really love Taylor Swift. She just makes me happy. But, you know, and I'm not saying that to try to sound diverse.
Right.
I'm saying that because I'm not the only one.
No,
y'all
clearly,
love them too.
Clearly,
you know,
she sells too many records for you to be the only person.
It's some real ratchets,
person
exactly,
that like her. No,
it's some ratchets who will pull a box cut out they jaw still who fuck with Taylor.
I'm sure.
We got bad blood. It just be live. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge a book by its cover.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to go back to what y'all said earlier about being able to kind of travel and experience certain cultures and having that be like, I guess what would you say, the conduit, I guess, into you loving that type of music. So what would, like, say somebody that's a fan of yours that didn't get a chance to go to London, how could they get into Watch the Duck? Like, being as how if they first listen to it, they like, dang, this is EDM. I ain't never heard this before.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Bear with me. First of all, we like to call our music mirror music.
Right.
So when you look into it, see what you want to see. Like, some people like the beats. Some people think it's hard. You know, some people may like some of the drops and it kind of make you feel like a trap drop. Some people just may really like my voice and make it soulful for them or something like that. Find the part in it that you like. Like, I'm the biggest Outkast fan in the world. Like, to the point where, like, if you genuinely don't like Outkast, we could really never be friends because we just have fundamental core differences in our beliefs. And I don't know if I trust you as a person. But even me, loving Outkast that much, every album that they put out past from ATLien's on, I had to give it 2 weeks to listen to it, to like every record. Like, Stankonia is probably one of my favorite records that they did. When I first put it in my CD player and listened to it as a kid, I was like, yo, I righteously only really rocked like 5 songs on this album.
Did you have the bootleg or the original?
I bought it. Okay. I always bought Outkast. They came out every 2 years. I was one of the first people in the store to buy every album up to Love Below. I didn't play about the cast. That's pretty much like them. That's like the only group I'm like that about, for real. But like, so I go get it, get in my car, get all excited, be happy. And I played them like, man, I don't know. I think they went too far this time. And then I
like
play it, let it stay in just because it's the cast. I'm going to give it a chance. Give me 3 days. I know the words to every record my song. Like, the first time I heard Love Below, I was pissed that Andre didn't rap. I was mad as hell. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get past that. You know what I'm saying? I was literally upset. I stopped listening to it. I'm going to tell the real truth because I was really hurt.
Wow.
I was mad. I didn't get it the first time. I like Prototype. I love She Lives in My Lap.
Yeah.
I like the records, but I was mad that he only rapped a half a song the last song. I was very mad about that. Give Me a Week and a Half. That is the best record that is the best album like of all time. It's like one of the greatest albums since Thriller. It's because it just took me time to get over myself so that I can get what you're saying. And I think I give everybody that leeway as a listener. If anything, I just hope people use the patience to give it that time, because it's going to take that. It's like fitting a square into a circle. I'm not going to expect you to get it the first time, but there's something in there that you like. Like sometimes, like you may only like Stretch at first. You may kind of like Don't Blame Love. You may not get Beautiful, Broken, Wasted. You may not get 6 Shots. But if you listen to it, like how you listen to your album and you don't like all the songs, but then the song you always skip, you be like, man, you know what? I'm going to listen to this motherfucker today. And now that's your jam. Now that'd be like when you put the CD in, you go to it first. Everybody does that. Everybody does that. So why should I think you should do me any different?
Right.
That's my answer to your question.
That was good. That was a very distinctive answer. Yeah, that was perfect, actually. No, because you know what made me think about it? I was like, people that might have gone to or might have heard EDM in passing, or if you went to like a festival and you just happened to be there because your homegirl had a ticket or something, so you was at Tomorrow World or something like that.
Change your life.
You heard that? Yeah, you went there. You kind of like, okay, this is what EDM sounds like. Yeah, this ain't bad. And then they listen to y'all, and y'all do sound like that, but not particularly just like that. Like you could fit into that mold and perform on that stage, but I don't think you just sound.
But you know what? The more
like
I got
EDM
familiar
either.
with your music over the years, man, it's like EDM would be like the last thing on my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know,
for real.
because especially when I heard Never Let Go for the first time. You know, I was like, okay, I am actually riding to this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Like you can listen to it for real. Like you can really just chill at the house and put it on.
That's
it's
what's
not
up.
like party, get, wasted music or whatever.
But you can.
You can if you want to. Right.
Yeah, and now I'm actually happy to hear you say that, because believe it or not, ride music means a lot to us, because we come from Cutlasses and Regals and Monte Carlos. We come from Bama, so it's like riding is the ultimate test. You know, like if I can't ride to it, then it ain't gonna never be my shit if I can't ride to it. Because I ain't partying all the time. I ain't sitting in the bathtub all the time. I ain't in the house. I ride 90% of the time though, cause that's where I get my music. So I mean, we try to. I think that's the balance,
Right.
Because like you said, we're not all EDM. You know, we're more soul and hip hop. Because I guess
He made the quotation marks for the
I had to, because of what I said earlier. Hip hop means black, so we're more soul and hip hop than anything else. But not because, but only that's because where we started from. But these other influences are just as strong. To us, it's more like using it like a guitar. Like Parliament would use a guitar player to do it. Parliament would like have a Prince would have like a guitar solo. We may put a drop right here. It's the same thing. It's the same effect. Earth, Wind, and Fire might pull back and just let the horns play for about a minute and a half. Well, that's what we'll do when we get to our musical section, because we may not want to put horns here, or may want to use our horns like this and make them dance. But it's the same thought process.
That's brilliant.
Man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like, before we let you go, man, it's like, with the Trojan Horse EP, like, tell us about like the feedback that you've been getting so far. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys, you had the release out in LA. You know what I'm saying? You came to the playlist party this week. Like, what's been some of the feedback you've been getting over the project so far, man?
Aha moments, man. Like
aha moments.
It was good.
It's just cool seeing, for us, it's cool seeing people pick different records. Like, or we just, like you said earlier, man, you never know what you're going to get when you see a person. Like, when a person walk up and they say, man, you know what my record is? I literally have no clue. Like, I literally can't look at you and tell what. I'm just sitting there in, like, anticipation, like, what? And you can't guess it. So I think, like, the LA party was such a dope thing, because that was another party where we brought a lot of different people together that normally may not party together.
Right.
And I feel like with the EP, that's what I'm loving more than anything is, even to the question you asked, it's just seeing people who normally wouldn't be together come together, and without necessarily having to travel anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, can relate to this record, can relate to the feel of this, and a bunch of different people coming together. So just loving that, seeing people enjoy different parts about it. Like you said, whether they're talking about the drops, whether they're talking about the vocals, whether they're talking about just the song or whatever, or you know, like, or how hard even Tip went on the verse or something like that, or it's just cool to see that on one project like that, and it's not a playlist of multiple songs grabbed from random projects. Right. So hearing people enjoy and just always being shocked by that thing that come after somebody say, you know what my song is, like, love that feeling, because you just don't know.
Like, as producers, and then, you know, obviously as the, you know, creators of that project, you know, do you think music is kind of getting to a homogenous place where we'll see more environments like that, you know, more than often?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's happening already.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's happening right now as we speak. You know, we talking about Watch the Duck right this particular second, but man, every time I open my computer and click around, I find something new, man, and I'm just like, yo, this right here, who's doing this? It's happening, man. And it's like, I think now we're forcing up, putting ourselves in a position to have more outlets for it, to where like we're in a position now where majority of music being made don't fit in that format they give you at radio, where it's like, oh, if it don't fit in this box, it can't come out. Like, now people are finding so many different ways, like doing stuff like we're doing, or just doing stuff that, you know, we hadn't even thought of yet. Like, every time I open the computer, I think it's the best time for music. And a lot of people be like, I hear people always say, oh man, music ain't what it used to be. I'm like, no, it's better.
It actually is. It kind of just depends on, you know, what you looking for.
Yeah,
and a lot of times who you hanging with too, man. If you hanging with some folk that ain't listening to
this guy just said it all. This guy just said it all. You create your own environment, man. And if you bored, it's your fault. And that's just how, like, it ain't no such thing as being bored. Like, you gotta check yourself. And I feel the same way about music. So yeah, you're right. You hit it on the nail, bro. It's who you hanging with and the environment you putting yourself in. It's out there. I swear. It's like,
it is.
Man, we could be in here all day just introducing each other to music that we probably like, didn't even know existed. It's amazing.
So if there's a lesson to be walked away from this episode, you need to start hanging with people that listen to Watch the Duck.
Wait, I want to know who is the duck. Who is the duck though that be out with y'all?
Well, the duck now. First of all,
before we go,
well, the duck is like a badass guitar player, and right now, our homeboy Oscar, because I guess he's the third member of Watch the Duck. Initially, he produces, he engineers, and he plays guitar. And he was like, man, let me rock the duck, bruh. I can turn Duck into a badass. So that's what he did, and that's what he does. He get on stage, he shred. It blows people's mind to see the Duck looking at them playing the hell out the guitar.
That is crazy.
And sometimes you might see the Duck be a dancer. Sometimes we really want to let some women be the Duck sometimes, because y'all be like so excited about it. I personally, I don't know how I would feel about seeing the Duck with a nice shape, but I just. Yeah, I'm gonna table that. I'm gonna put a pin in that and come back to that. But you know, right now, everybody's the duck. I'm the duck. You're the duck. He's the duck. You want to be the duck?
I feel like I'm the duck, low key. I mean, you know, just in the meaning of the term that you guys describe it as being, I do. Because I'm tired as hell. Like, man, this is plus work. So I'm tired, but y'all can't see. I'm excited at the studio.
Now you look excited. You look all blessed and happy. You got the sun coming through your eyes. And
whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, you know. So yeah, I guess we all a duck, low key.
That's how we feel about it. That's
so,
the mantra.
So man, I mean, with like parting things, man. You want folks to stalk y'all on the internet? This is the time to shout out all your social medias, websites, all that stuff. Anything else, man?
Everything is Watch the Duck, just like it's spelled, not ebonically, like the English language.
No DA, no.
Watch the Duck. You know, no special characters. Just Watch the Duck. And check out the Trojan Horse EP out on Denmark/Epic Records. And thanks for everybody that's contributing. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, SoundCloud.
The African Head Shop.
Yep. The flea market. You know what I'm saying? They got it on bootleg.
I mean, that's how you know your music done made it somewhere, though. Exactly. If folks want to bootleg it.
Bro, but before the day, I think 2 days before it came out, they had leaked. Somebody had leaked 6 Shots, the song with Schoolboy Q and Candice Pillay. I was so happy. I was excited. I was like, "Oh, they stealing our shit." You know what I'm saying? Because somebody wanted it that bad to steal it. I mean, I know. Okay, now let's stop it.
Yeah,
but not really.
Yeah.
I don't care. We made it for you. We made it for you. Listen to it. Just take it. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
If you want it that bad, go get it.
Great. It's a great problem. It's a great problem. Yeah.
Bet, man. Hey, man, we appreciate you stopping by Day One Radio, fellas.
Man, thanks for having us, for real. It's been a great conversation. Like,
For
straight
sure,
up.
man. And we also appreciate you, the Day One Radio listeners out there, giving us your feedback, running up on us in public, telling us how you love the show. We welcome all of that kind of behavior around here, man. And also make sure you go back and check out all of our archive at day1radio.com. And you can check us out in the iTunes podcast section as well. Thank you for listening again, and we will see you next week.